Hey guys, it's me, Kathleen again. We are going to talk about probability, and we're using the general formula that we talked about yesterday in our lesson about overlapping events, okay? And that general formula is the probability of A or B is equal to the probability of A plus the probability of B minus the probability of A and B. So let's go ahead and look at this question, and we can kind of dissect it and see exactly what it is that we need to pull out of that question in order to solve the problem. So here it is. Out of 200 students in a senior class, 113 are either varsity athletes or on the honor roll. There are 74 seniors who are varsity athletes and 51 seniors who are on the honor roll. What is the probability that a randomly selected senior is both a varsity athlete and on the honor roll? Well, there's a lot of information that's given in here, and we just have to go ahead and think, what is it that, what would be each of these components in this formula, this general formula that I have put on the page right here? We're just going to go ahead and we're going to decide what is the probability of A. Well, the probability of A is equal to, well, A is the varsity athlete, okay? So the probability of A, how many varsity athletes are there in the senior class? Well, it tells us right here that there are 74. So there's 74 varsity athletes in the senior class, and it says right here that there's 200 students in the senior class. Okay. And now we're going to go ahead and find out what is the probability of B. And the probability of B, well, what is event B? When I went ahead and I named it for you right here. Event B is seniors who are on the honor roll. Well, how do we know how many seniors there are on the honor roll? It tells us right here, there's 51. So I'm going to make this 51 out of how many students we said were in the senior class? We said that there were 200. So we're getting there. Now we just need to determine, it's asking us, what is the probability that a randomly selected senior is both a varsity athlete and on the honor roll? So it looks like this right here where it says probability of A and B, that's my unknown. That's really what I'm trying to solve. But do I have enough information to say what is the probability of A or B? Well, it tells me right up here, it says that there are 113 are either varsity athletes or on the honor roll. And I can go ahead and say, well, this probability of A or B is equal to, well, that's the 113. That's the total number of seniors who are either an athlete or on the honor roll out of 200 students. And so what do you do with this information here? Well, we're going to go ahead and we're going to apply it into our formula over there. Okay, so the probability of A or B, is 113. Now I'm just going ahead and I'm filling in, or I'm plugging in values that I already know. Out of 200 is equal to the probability of A. Probability of A is 74 over 200. 74 seniors out of 200 are varsity athletes. Do I know the value of the probability of B? Well, event B is how many seniors are on the honor roll, and we do. We know there's 51 out of 200. And remember from our general formula, we call these overlapping events, you got to subtract what's in common. Like remember that part of the Venn diagram where the circles cross over. You need to subtract whatever's in that section. And we know that the probability of A and B is my unknown. I don't know what that is. That's what they're asking me to solve. That is what this question is asking me to solve. I'm going to say probability of A and B, because that's my unknown. It's kind of like my X, okay? And I'm going to do some quick math here. I got 113, 200 is equal to, well, 74 plus 51. It looks like it is 125. 200 minus the probability of A and B. That's my unknown. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to subtract 113 over 200 from both sides. It's just basic. Using the subtraction property of equality to solve for an unknown. Okay. And that makes that 0. So we get 0 is equal to 125 minus 113 is 12 over 200 minus the probability of A and B. But I have the equation set to 0, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to continue to use my my properties of algebra, and I'm going to add my unknown to both sides, and that's the additive property. And I'm going to go ahead and solve. So I get the probability of A and B is equal to 12 over 200. You might be like, well, what happened here? Well, we have a negative and a positive, and they just cancel each other out. And so the probability of A and B is equal to 12 over 200, or we could say, well, 4 goes into 12 3 times, and 4 goes into 200. And I just want to turn that into a decimal. And 3 divided by 50 is equal to 0.06. Or we could say, if we said times 100%, it's about a 6% chance that they're both a varsity athlete and on the honor roll. Okay, there's a lot of math going on in that question. I hope that you are able to review this and message me and leave comments and like it, and go ahead and share it with your family and friends. And I really appreciate the time that you've given me today to explain this probability question to you. I'm going to sign out. That is a wrap. Blessings, my friends.